Today, I want to speak with you about dogs. I have two, Zoe and Bella. Zoe will be 9 and Bella will be 5. And 2 years ago, my Bella, who was very, very young, 3 years old, acquired an awful situation where she got hot spots and they developed into very severe problems. And I went to specialty veterinarians and had to wait a long period of time for help, like 3 months. And in that time period, I tried so many different things. I went to a dog nutritionist in my local town. I went and got steroids for her from the veterinary office because I couldn't get in to see the actual vet for 3 months. They said, other places had closed because of the big COVID thing. But most importantly, after I did get the diagnosis, it was dreadful. And I didn't really buy into it. And they told me that my dog had MRSA, but only on the outside. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it or look it up or if you know about it, but how the hell can it be just on her outside of her skin? And they gave me a remedy that they put together at the very prominent veterinary clinic and said, just put this on her fur and it should help. And it didn't. Long story short, it just didn't. So today I really want to talk to things that really helped my dog. They told me she had ridiculously bad allergies prior to even seeing her. And then after they saw her, they gave me this diagnosis on paper. They didn't even, quite frankly, have a discussion with me about it. But most importantly, I know there's a lot of dogs out there. I've met a lot of humans that have dogs that suffer greatly with allergies. And I've had an extraordinary experience through a lot of help that I want to share with you today. So the first thing I did to eliminate the hot spots was I got a far infrared light that is used to eliminate any kind of skin issues. And it was extraordinary. I found the scientist and his brother who own the company up in New Hampshire, and it's far infrared, so it's absolutely ultralight therapy, but it doesn't hurt your skin because it's far infrared. So that was step number 1. And that was quick, and that was a godsend. I mean, the treatments take 2 minutes, and I think overall now in the last 2 years, I've done 9 treatments on her total. Pretty extraordinary stuff. The other thing that was ridiculously impactful on her and Zoe, my almost 9 years old, was the nutrition. So I had first gone and bought raw, and then I bought freeze-dried raw. And the 2 things I will tell you out of my long learnings was that salmon is the worst thing you can give a dog other than chicken. Yes. And for my dogs, I use pureed vegetables because Bella had had a biome problem, which, by the way, had started this whole process to begin with. The dog just had biome issues, and so her gut needed to be fixed. So I just want to jump ahead now and share with you the results of what has happened over the last couple of years. Zoe was a 22-pound Bichon who could Bichon Frise, which couldn't even jump up on the chair. I just thought she was stocky, as I think we think most overweight anythings are. Zoe is now 13 pounds and spry and young and vibrant. And Bella, who had a big butt because she was so swollen, is also 13 pounds. And her big butt has reduced to a normal size because there's no more inflammation. I mean, it's just extraordinary what's happened with these animals. Probably one of the best things I ever did was meet a woman named Gayle Pruitt. And Gayle Pruitt is actually the nutritionist that you can talk with through the probiotic human product, Dr. O'Hara's probiotics. They're fabulous, fabulous products. I recommend them strongly. And if you ask for their nutritionist, Gayle Pruitt is the nutritionist for them. What Gayle is also is an avid dog lover. She has 2 dogs, and they are 19 and 20 years old. 19 and 20 years old, and they're small dogs. And she's written a book called The Doggone Good Cookbook. And it's 100 easy recipes for dogs and humans. And it's so crazy because my dogs are given only human food. I give them organic turkey, organic beef, organic bison, organic turkey, free range cod, filet. I'll be honest with you, the filet is usually leftovers from mine, cooked well. Everything has to be cooked well. And then vegetables beyond. So they're always given in vegetables, beets, carrots, broccoli, asparagus, cauliflower, collard, kale. Now, is that all the time? I usually put together every 3 or 4 days a concoction. I steam my vegetables and then I make them cold. It's easier to puree them. And then I put some in their food with water, so that if they're not drinking enough water, they're getting it not only through the vegetable, but through the breakfast and dinner time meal. And my dogs are like different dogs. And like I said, they're half the body weight they used to be. I have a girlfriend that worked at veterinary clinic, and also Gayle said, Michelle, but my girlfriend said, dogs are not supposed to be as heavy as they are, and you see them everywhere. And think about this. Dogs are dying at 12, 13 years old. That's considered a long life for a dog. Well, here I had a 3-year-old that I actually thought was going to die, and what an awakening that was. Again, I'm going to go back to Gayle and her 2 dogs. They're 19 and 20 years old. One is a pug and one is a small poodle. Oh my goodness. And so I recommend, and I will actually have a picture of her book, because it's really done so much for my family and for my family's health. And we've now moved to a completely different part of the country, and we get a lot of sunshine. And that's also helped Bella because of the vitamin D. So if you live in the north or in a place where it gets very cold and there's not a lot of sun, it's just like with humans, we need our vitamin D, especially for Bella. That's just something that she was very deficient in. And when she can sit in the sunshine, she's a different dog. But the nutrition factor, and I actually had in my old town a local nutritionist who recommended freeze-dried salmon, and this company makes it. And according to Gayle, it's absolutely the worst thing you can give your dog. And I didn't know. I had heard about chicken, I had heard about wheat, and it's so interesting because I've had Bijans now for 30 years, and I had one that lived 19 years, my Ricky. But when I had an issue with my one dog, Angel, and I went to the local vet, they gave me prescription, what they called prescription dog food, and all it was chicken. And that dog didn't make it past 12 years old and had cancer and had diabetes. I mean, so I'm not saying it caused it. I'm not saying it didn't. I'm just saying these are the things that I've learned and I want to share because, boy, I was on my knees begging God for help and guidance and got it. And so I feel very compelled to share this information. If you have any questions or if you'd like any information from me, please get a hold of me. I'm so happy to share what I know. I'm not a dog nutritionist, but I am a dog mom. And my dogs are doing phenomenal. They're not even doing good. They're doing phenomenal. So this is to all of you dog mamas out there in the world. Thank you for listening. Make it a super fantastic doggone good day. It's kind of corny, but most importantly, love to all. Michelle, peace out.